you make decisions tonight, we just ask that you would give us your guidance, your direction. Lord, give us your spirit as we make these changes. Lord, we'd also ask that you would be with our servicemen and women who continue to put themselves in harm's way every day so that we can be safe. We ask you to watch over them, guide them, and protect them, Lord. Bring them back home safely to their families. Lord, we continue to love you for all you do, and most importantly, God, to drive everything that we say and do. We love you. We thank you for all you do again. Lord, be with us this day. In your name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Better picking me up, right?
Yeah. When I sit back in it, I go flying back.
Okay, well, number 3, community public comments. Does anyone present have a comment regarding the item of tonight's agenda? This is the only opportunity to public to comment. If we don't see any, we'll move to 4 minutes of including executive safety certification.
Mr. President,
Mr. Cunningham.
I make a motion to improve the minutes, including the executive section certifications as presented.
Need a second?
Second.
Mr. Garrett?
Yes.
Minutes to include, including executive session certification. Motion made by Chris Cunningham, second by Jared Richardson. Are there any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Move to number 5, resolution to adopt the 2024 budget.
This is Townsend.
This was Townsend, okay.
Yes, we held the budget workshop for the 2024 budget on August the 21st and the public hearing on September 11th. Tonight, I'm asking the board permission to adopt the 2024 budget.
What's the board's pleasure?
Mr. President,
Correct.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2024 resolution to adopt budget as presented.
Okay, get a second.
Second.
Mr. Crouch. Okay, resolution to adopt the 2024 budget. Motion made by Conrad Herrera, second by Mike Crouch. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Resolution to adopt, resolution to adopt the 2024 capital projects fund plan. Did you again?
Yeah.
Oh, bus, I missed the bus.
Bus.
Sorry, missed it.
That's all right.
Resolution to adopt the 2024 bus replacement plan.
I recommend approval of the 2024 bus replacement plan.
Okay. What's the board's pleasure?
Mr. President,
Richards?
make a motion that we accept the resolution to adopt the 2024 bus replacement plan as presented.
In a second.
I'll second.
Okay. Resolution to adopt the 2024 bus replacement plan. Motion made by Jared Richards, second by Conrad Herrera. Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 7, resolution to adopt the 2024 capital project fund. This time again.
I recommend approval.
I have trouble that 2024. Keep thinking. Okay, go ahead.
I recommend approval of the 2024 capital projects fund plan.
Okay. What's the board's pleasure?
Mr. President,
Coming in.
I make a motion to approve the 2024 capital projects fund plan as presented.
Need a second?
Second.
Mr. Crouch. Resolution to adopt the 2024 capital projects plan, fund plan. Motion made by Chris Cunningham, second by Mike Crouch. Question, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 8, recommendation to replace members of the board of directors of Northview Elementary School Building Corporation. Elementary, is that right?
That's right. It is necessary that we replace those members as presented, and so I recommend approval.
What's the board's pleasure?
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to approve recommendation to replace members of the board of directors of the Northview Elementary School Board Building Corporation.
Not as easy as it looks, is it?
No.
Nah.
That's it. Okay.
It's all fun and games till you got to do it. Yeah.
Need a second.
I'll second.
Chris, let's try to get what he said. Okay. I recommend to replace the members of the board of directors of Northview School Elementary School Building Corporation. Motion made by Conrad Herrera, second by Chris Cunningham. Question or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
I owe you a chair.
Now, we'll go to 9, recommendation to approve Co-Alliance as a fuel provider. That's the company. Okay?
Thanks, sir.
Still you?
Still me. Mr. Gosser did ask for quotes on our fuel provider, and we recommend approval of Co-Alliance.
Okay. Okay, what's the board's pleasure?
Mr. President, make a motion for the recommendation to approve Co-Alliance as our fuel provider as presented.
Okay. All right, you need a second.
Second.
That's good.
Okay. You guys want it down there?
Sorry.
Okay, recommendation for Co-Alliance as our fuel provider. Motion made by Jared Richards, second by Danny Smith. And any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay, recommendation to approve Optum Performance Sports Agreement.
That'd be Mr. Quater.
Yes, we'd like to recommend approval of that Optum Sports agreement as presented.
What's the board's pleasure?
Mr. President, I'll make a recommendation to approve the Optimum Performance Sports Agreement as presented. And Matt, many thanks for negotiating and putting this together for the board.
Okay, Chris, need a second.
Second. I'll second.
Conrad. Okay. Recommendation to approve Optimum Performance Sports Agreement. Motion made by Chris Cunningham, second by Conrad Herrera. Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. 11, after-school programming.
I'm excited to have Mrs. Varner here today, the Northview Elementary principal, to talk about their after-school programming.
Well, thank you for having me. I feel like some of you are probably getting tired of hearing about this, but it's such an exciting part of what we offer at Northview. And we have some new additions this year. So I wanted to highlight kind of where we're at as far as all of the programming that we're offering for our students. So as you have probably heard me mention before, under Leslie and her leadership, we really thought of ways to be inclusive for all students and find an area for every student to feel valued and included in our school experience. Some students excel academically, some athletically, and some in other areas. So our job, I guess, our task was to find those other areas. So when I first started talking to my staff about this at the beginning of the year last year, and I challenged each one of them to find a teammate or someone who shared a similar interest or passion and to bring that to me as an opportunity for an extracurricular or co-curricular club, the idea started to trickle in, and then we just gained momentum. And I was so excited about where we ended the year last year. I couldn't imagine that we would grow anymore, but we have. And so here are some new things that we have added this year that I wanted to highlight a little bit. So first and very exciting is a co-curricular program with Purdue University. As you've heard a lot about the Watch Us program at the high school level and those design and innovation studios all the way down to me at Northview, we have officially opened our design and innovation studio in the Northview A wing up in the old kindergarten classrooms with Mrs. Ashley Roberts as the instructor. And that is off and running and just doing incredible work with our students in the area of STEM. So they are using robots, they are using 3D printers, they are using some coding tools and micro carts where they're coding their own little go-karts to run courses. It's just incredible to see those students learning in that space and what they're going to be able to do and create in that space. So that's one thing that we're very excited about. We have expanded our fine arts programming this year, and I'm excited to announce that for the first time ever, we have an elementary theater club, and that we will be putting on a production in the spring this year with all elementary students, grades 3 through 5, led by 2 of our teachers. So very excited about that. We also have a teacher who is passionate about guitar and wrote a grant to purchase guitars for our students and host an after-school guitar club. So that is off and running for this year as well. As we'll talk about more in just a few minutes, we are also looking to expand our competitive robotics programming. And in doing so, we realize that there's also a space for students who may not yet be ready for the competitive teams, but have an interest or a passion or a talent in the area of robotics. So we are taking that VEX programming, which we've committed to as a school system of being our robotics platform. And we have now created a VEX Go Academy, which is for students who are not yet able to compete in the VEX competitive team. Maybe they're not old enough yet. We take 3rd grade and up, or maybe they just didn't make the cut for the tryouts and want some more practice in those building and coding skills before they join that competitive team. So we're excited to have another layer of support in the robotics realm for our students to prepare them as well. Some more interdisciplinary clubs that we've added this year. Our gardening club just finished their fall season, which was a vision that we have been working on for a while, kind of as a alliance between the high school and their gardening partnership through Indiana Wesleyan and the community gardens, as well as Thriving Grant County. We have kind of all come together to see this vision come to fruition, where students can learn about farm to table and garden to table, how they can grow their own food and prepare recipes with things that they grew themselves right there in our Northview raised garden beds. So that has been wonderful to see. I know Miss Deb Cunningham will be so thrilled to see those gardens put to good use, because she had a lot of dirt under her fingernails for many years, helping us keep those gardens alive, and now they're really thriving. So that's exciting. So yeah, I have a huge list in front of me. If you ever want to see our complete list, I'm so happy to share that. But I didn't want to take our whole evening tonight. I just wanted to highlight some of those new things that we're offering, and just tell you again how thankful I am for the leadership that we have and your support, that we're able to extend our school day in such an enriching way that I know a lot of schools cannot support the way that we do here. And so I'm so thankful to be the leader of that building, to have all of your support with our students, because they're thriving, and we appreciate it very much.
Thank you
And
very
Ms.
much.
Warner,
Yes, absolutely. Sorry.
the president's office, I don't have one here, so I go out to McDonald's every day, and I do run into a lot of students out there. And there's 2 kids down there, and I said, I seen they had Northview shirts on, and I said, and I said, well, where do you go? I said, well, which one there? They said, and their dad said, we don't tell me where they come from, but they said it's the after school program. They just could not believe the things that are available to. So it's got to be a great job, because you get them a real little, we get them young, we keep them. So
Absolutely.
excellent job, great job. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah. And she showed us the list earlier in
you.
the,
Good. Okay.
yeah.
Does anyone else have any questions? I'm sorry, I didn't ask.
No, that's okay. That's my job.
We're gonna make a trip down one board meeting to look at the innovation centers.
Okay, awesome.
Great
You're
job.
welcome anytime. Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Okay, let's see. I don't, just a report, so we're going to, you guys can, they won't leave or.
Andy's
Oh,
next.
Andy's next, okay.
Andy's next.
All right. Let's go. I looked at you.
Don't write him off too early.
I looked at you heading out the door. I thought maybe. Go ahead, Andy. I apologize.
Yeah, I wanted to jump in here and kind of piggyback off Mrs. Barner there. I'm excited at the middle school. We've kind of expanded our center robotics vision here, kind of the K-12 vision. We have monthly committee meetings. I know Mr. Burbank and Mrs. Barner have been more involved recently than I have in the robotics programs, and they've choreographed our big event that we have every year. They've done that for a few years, so it's good to kind of come under their wing. We have 2 brand new robotics teachers at the middle school, and they're excited to get going. I was down there this afternoon after school. We have like 30 plus robotics kids, so it's good to see them all kind of tinkering at things. And I think that's coming out of the Northview program, kind of the feeder program, if you will, to us. And we've even expanded into the high school. So I think Mr. Burbank is excited to get the high school robotics going this year. So I like that. We come together as a team. We discuss, what's best for kids, how to approach competitions and just get our kids involved. So I've been excited to see that and work with the elementary staff. I know they're kind of the experts in the robotics area, so we're learning at the secondary level. We're learning a lot from them, and excited to see where our programs can go. We do have a unified program that will be competing in an event at Taylor University on November 11th. So we're excited to have kind of 2 different teams preparing at the middle school level. I do want to draw attention to two new clubs, if you will, at RJB. Most of our clubs are going. There's some clubs that don't start up until the spring, when the competition season begins in the spring. But Mrs. Lehman came to, actually Mrs. Varner and I in the spring to start a show choir at the middle school. And she hopes that the show choir at the middle school will kind of build into a show choir at the high school. So they've been practicing after school. Mrs. Lehman even hosted kind of like a team camp last Saturday for 4 hours just to kind of learn some of the songs and the dances and things. So they're prepared to perform at their annual choir concert right before Christmas. They're also going to compete in the ISMA Jazz Festival. And then I think the plan this spring is to ultimately go down to the elementaries and put on a show down there to kind of build that program. So we're excited for the show choir in year one at RJB. I also want to draw attention to our drama club. It was a couple of years ago with the encouragement from Mrs. Winter that, hey, I'd really like to see a production at RJB. You know, I was new at RJB, didn't know if we could pull it off. Mrs. South and Mrs. Fire, our directors of the drama club. Year one, we had about a dozen students. Their production went really well. I was really impressed for year one. Last year in year two, we continued to grow. We were about 20 kids in our drama club. They put on an outstanding performance, even better than year one. So this year, Ms. South came to me and said, hey, Mr. Rush, I have a problem. I said, oh, what's that? She goes, I have 50 kids in drama club. And there's a lot. I don't know if you saw them in the parade. They barely fit in a classroom. We kind of had to move the drama club out of the classroom and into an open area. And her and I were discussing even this week, where are we going to find a show or whatever to get 50 kids involved? So we're looking. We're going to try to get them all apart somehow, some way. But those kids love the drama club. I'm very proud of what they're doing, and I'm happy to see that. So thanks to Mrs. Winter for encouraging me to do that. I don't know if we can sustain that kind of growth, but we're excited where our drama club is. So we had quite a few of our clubs participate in the homecoming parade, so I sure appreciate the high school inviting the middle school. Good to see the middle school team just really becoming a community event rather than just a high school.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, it is.
I think Rachel told me there was 60 entrants in the parade, and quite a few of those were middle school kids. So it's good to see all of them last Friday night.
Well, I do get, it's in my program, it says Andy Barner on here, not Andy. So I was kind of messed up. It says,
It's two Andys.
I just want you guys something to share with us or not.
We kept expecting her husband to come diving through the door there. Yeah, we go. Yeah.
I hope we have a great, and that is an excellent job. And,
Yeah,
and
it was.
Top to bottom, we're really happy with our administration that we have down there. And you know, in our school system, we know kids need to have those kind of things, and that's great. Everybody that's involved. Anybody else?
I do want to tell both of them, it's difficult, especially at the middle school level, to get after school clubs started and sustain, and you guys have done an outstanding job. And I'm very, very proud and very happy for our students and our families getting all these
Well,
opportunities.
at least it's vertical. You start low. I think, you know, that means
Mhm.
it's just, keep growing.
Yes.
So, okay. Anybody else want anything? Great job.
Thank you.
You guys are going to leave the debt. Apologize.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead, if you don't mind, and he was going to go with Mr. Resch just to talk a little
Sure.
bit about the high school,
Sure.
everything
Sure.
that's going on this week. And
So, well, last week was a busy week. Homecoming week was, takes a lot of time to put that together, and everyone helps, does a great job. Community comes together and supports us. Casey's store donated 20 cases of Gatorade for those participants in the parade, and that was a huge help for us. Just to highlight some of this last week's accomplishments, the football team won on October 3rd. Aiden Tignor and Cannon Smith, they won the double individual sectional, and they didn't win the team, but they advanced individually to the sectional championship. So they won that championship, and they will play tennis this Saturday in Kokomo for the regionals. That starts at 10 a.m. and if they win, they play at 2 p.m. The boys soccer team won their first sectional championship this past Saturday versus Jay County. That's the first one. They've been chasing it for a long time, but they will also play this Wednesday at Lido at 6 p.m. Should be a good match. In your board pack, you received an invitation to the Watch Us Academy open house. That is Wednesday, the 11th as well. It's from 4:30 to 6:30 at Mississauga High School. There'll be light refreshments. Come check it out. It's going to be open house. Just come and go as you please. Come meet our students, meet our community partners, and our business partners. This is a very cool space, and the program is top notch. Tonight, we have our fall choir concert at 7 p.m. So as soon as we get done here, we can load the minibus. Couple of days coming up. Well, volleyball starts tomorrow. Sectionals, they play at Norwell. They play Belmont. I think they're number one in the or state.
State, yeah, they are.
It's gonna be a tough challenge, but I think they'll be just fine. The last thing, when we come back from fall break, we have our SAT, the SAT school day. We're going to run it like the SAT day we do in the spring. Seniors are going to volunteer in the community. Freshmen, sophomores, and juniors will be putting the pens to paper. So that's an exciting time. That's about all I have.
That's a lot. Great job last week with homecoming, and it was just an exciting time for the students, especially with all the athletic events and after-school programming going on.
The month of October is
Anybody?
Okay.
And I've had Stephen. He's gonna take the thing. Safety update.
I just want to report out on our full-scale exercise that we did September 30th. It was interesting to say the least. We learned a lot. We didn't put a great deal of stress on our evacuation and reunification procedures. We did get to practice them. We did get to get our kits out. We get to put our signs up, and we got to check kids in and then check kids out, had the parents verify their identification. So we went through the process. There were some things that we learned really at the beginning of this emergency. Like we still haven't received a call that the emergency has happened. So that was bad. And I asked Bobby Jackson, who was heading up this, I said, how are we going to know? He said, oh, this is what is the plan for you to know. Well, that never took place. So we didn't want to not hold up our end of the practice. So we, kind of followed the script, and at 10:40, we evacuated the high school, relocated to Marion Health East, had our kids decontaminated, and then we reunified at the Marion Health East Education Center, otherwise known as the old James Dean Museum. So we were able to put our procedures into place. The procedures, for the most part, worked well. There were some things that we need in the kit that were very easy to replace. We had a couple different school systems come and shadow this activity. They are really excited to partner with us and just really build on their school safety, the work that they're doing. The things that we're using are not things we've created. They're just best practices that we found across the country and really across the world. And Brody Burbank and Chad Cruz and Corey Wilson were our staff members, along with Brady Harrison and the FFA, that's who we relocated and reunified. So the activity went well. We learned some things that didn't go well, and we have an opportunity to fix those for a fuller scale or a situation where it's not a drill. So we learned some things. We learned some things on we did well, and some things that we need to improve upon. So we're very happy to take part in that. We're very, very thankful for Grant County to take the initiative to host such a full-scale event. Not so much full-scale for us, but certainly for the county and all the players that were involved in that.
Do this on a regular basis.
Yeah, I think that, and we want to do different. There's different activities. We can do some tabletop activities where we talk through scenarios. We really like to move, almost get aggressive with some of our, putting some stress to some of our systems. The parents that came in to reunify, we're kind of joking about it. But if we're reunifying 700 kids with 700 sets of parents and they're waiting in line, there's not a lot of fun to be had. So there are some things that we are talking about in the future to really put a stress to that reunification system. But just getting to practice it, getting the kits out was good.
This is the first year I think when I went to ISBA, they didn't have a speaker to talk
Right.
about this, and one of the ladies that did speak about it was Sandy Hook, I think, last week.
Mhm.
Yes, what you're talking about, having fun. She had 3 kids at 3 different schools.
Yep.
That kind of thing. One of her was one of them that didn't make it. So yeah, that's very important. It doesn't seem like it could only seem like miles and miles away, but I'm sure what happens to it, it's worth it.
Sure.
Great job, Steve.
Yep.
Anybody else got anything?
Thanks for all your work.
Thanks for all your
Yep.
hard work. Yeah,
Yep.
I watched a little bit from a distance, didn't want to get involved, but yeah, I'm down by the railroad.
Mhm.
Okay, we'll move on to fall conference.
Okay. Mr. President, we have the following conference requests for your consideration this evening. Steve Jeffries, Brian Warninger, Bill Ray, and Jacob Felger to attend the HEC Conference in Indianapolis, November the 8th through the 10th, at a cost of $4,344.21 to be paid from the Technology Travel account. Corey Wilson to attend the Indiana Association of School Principals Assistant Principal Conference in Indianapolis, November the 17th and 18th, at a cost of $523 to be paid from the high school travel account. Liz Richards to attend the 2023 NACI Annual Conference in Nashville, Tennessee, November the 15th through the 17th, as a cost of $1,820.22 to be paid from the Westview travel account. We recommend approval of these conferences request as presented.
Okay, what's the board's pleasure?
Mr. President,
Yeah,
make a motion to approve the conference request as presented, please.
need a second?
I'll second. If you veto that last one, so she don't leave me with 6 kids. Just kidding. I'll second.
Only 6. She deserves it.
Okay.
Okay,
More grandmas coming.
conference request, motion made by Mike Kraus, seconded by Jared Richards. Are there any questions or comments? Here, I got yours in. Didn't you?
Yeah.
Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thanks for
Okay, we'll
having
move down to personnel.
Mr. President, we have the following personnel items for your consideration. The following individuals are resigning. Justin Rice, a 6th grade basketball coach at RJ Basket Middle School, effective immediately. Sophie Clark as a teacher at Missinawall High School, effective October the 6th, 2023. Shanda Irwin as a full-time child nutrition employee at Westview Elementary, effective September the 5th, 2023. Michelle Lewis as a full-time child nutrition employee at Missinawall High School, effective September the 29th. Julia Kiefer as the life skills teacher at RJ Basket Middle School, effective October the 27th, 2023. Cassie Ratledge as a paraprofessional at Northview Elementary School, effective October the 13th, 2023. Kyle Fanning as the 6th grade girls basketball head coach, effective immediately. Julie Wilmer as the athletic trainer at Missinawall High School, effective October the 22nd, 2023. The following individuals are to be hired. Janice Henning as full-time child nutrition employee at Westview Elementary School, effective September the 22nd, 2023. Brittany Brinkle as the restart teacher at Westview Elementary School, effective October the 11th, 2023. Hannah Kuykendall and Tracy Speakman as student council co-sponsors at Missinawall High School, effective immediately. We recommend approval of these personnel items as presented.
Okay, what's the board's pleasure?
Mr. President,
I'll
I'll
just
make
go
a
with-
motion to approve personnel as presented.
Need a second? Need a second? Okay. Personnel, motion made by Conrad Herrera, second by Danny Smith. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign, motion carries. Item 16, facility report.
Mr. Gosser?
Okay. Anything legislative report?
Yeah. Nothing at this time. Other organizational day is soon approaching. Once that happens, I'll have a report.
18, athletic corporate sponsors, donations and grants.
Mr. President, we have the following corporate sponsors for your consideration this evening. State Farm in the amount of $500. We have the following donations for your consideration. Gas City Brewing to athletics in the amount of $600. Hut Up Feed and Supply to FFA in the amount of $50. Conrad and Julie Wimmer to athletics in the amount of $500. We recommend approval of these corporate sponsors and donations as presented.
Okay. What's the board's pleasure?
Mr. President,
Mr. Richards,
make a motion that we accept these gracious gifts.
need a second?
I'll second.
Okay, athletic corporate sponsors donation to grant, motion made by Jerry Richards, seconded by Chris Cunningham. Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. 19 claims 50807 and claim 50997. Gino?
Yes, I recommend approval of claims that total $2,301,224.18.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the claims 50807 through 50979 as presented.
You just did that climate inspector, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Need a second.
I'll second.
Okay. All right. Okay, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 20, Ms. Wynn.
We do have a board item that Mr. Smith is going to address.
So it's my recommendation that the Mississippi School Board of Trustees use the university search team to facilitate our search for the next superintendent. The university search team has proven track record of success in conducting superintendent searches, and I believe that they would be an excellent partner for our district. The university search team has a deep understanding of the superintendent search process, and they have a network of contacts in the education field. They would be able to identify and recruit a pool of qualified candidates, and they would provide support and guidance throughout the search process. The only cost to the corporation is mileage reimbursements for the consultants. I believe that the university search team would be a valuable asset to our district as we search for our next superintendent.
We need a vote on that. correct?
Yes.
So you making that as a recommendation, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So does anybody understand, we're going to hire this firm out in Indiana State University to do this, so. They need a motion then.
Make a motion to approve this group.
You'll need a second.
Second.
Okay, the motion is to hire this firm out of Indiana State University. Motion made by Mike Kraut, second by Jared Richards. Any questions or comments?
Just the fact that we're actually not hiring them.
Well, I guess
We're working with them.
Right, we're working with, we're actually there to let you people know, let the community know, and then they'll pay the mileage when they come, so. Is that correct?
Yes.
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 All right, so I need a motion made by Mike Kraus, second by Jared Richards. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
The only thing I have, we've heard from the principals on all the activities. I just wanted to thank our community and the high school, as well as the middle school and both elementaries for such an outstanding week of a spirit and supporting of each other. And it was just a wonderful week and weekend to be a Mississippi Indian. And we just appreciate our parents and our community that support us in all these activities. Our next board meeting will be held on Monday, October the 23rd, and we look forward to seeing everyone.
Anything from the board?
I got to participate in the homecoming parade, and I just want to say Stacy Marshall was she was like a wedding director, like getting it, like everybody getting in line. She was like directing traffic, getting us moving. You guys all did a phenomenal job with homecoming.
Yeah, I could not believe, I went on 8th Street. I couldn't believe how there's like 60 something. And it's getting, as a matter of fact, I think it went so long, they was late getting to the ball game. So,
Yeah.
but the turnout, I don't think there was anybody left to be in to watch the parade. But so
But there was.
there was, I mean, actually,
We have that many, we might want to start a little earlier.
but it's not, it's a festival for us, really for the school system and our alumni like it and stuff. So great job. So anybody else got anything? Okay. If not, then we'll move on to adjournment.
So moved.
Cunningham. Smith. Adjournment, motion made by Chris Cunningham, second by Danny Smith. Are there any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, all those there say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm calling it.
Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
7:07.
Great job.